right, welcome to another edition of SVG Sports Tech on Demand. I'm Jason Dackman, Chief Editor at SVG, and we got a good one for you guys here. We're chatting with the guys from MPE who have one of the more state-of-the-art post-production and media facilities that you're going to find stateside here. We have, and if you guys could just raise your hand real quick, we have Neal Pilzer, CEO over there, Andrew Schenk, who's an account executive, and Keith Shapiro joining us, who's in the finishing department. Really appreciate you guys taking the time to join us today. First, man, Neal and Andrew, you guys, you got some pretty nice digs there. Where are you guys zooming us from?
We are in our Dolby Home Atmos Entertainment Theater. For audio finishing.
Cool. Well, you guys have, continue to expand your facilities and bring them up to date. I assume that the Dolby Atmos facility is just a good example of that. Tell me a little bit about some of the enhancements and additions that MPE has made recently.
Well, recently, it depends on how far back you go because we're a long-standing company, but we had done offline for decades and got into online about 5 years ago by bringing in Keith and his group. They started off with video only with the color correction. And then we brought in audio about 2.5 years ago and just built out a beautiful audio facility about 18 months ago.
Great. Okay. And Neal, I would assume that you guys have a great vision for serving the community, and these additions are huge, right? I mean, these additions really bring MPE up to a level of excellence.
It's really pretty amazing. I think that every 7 years, MP's gone through a growth spurt or seeing what the new technology offers. And we're really very pleased to introduce a number of these high-end 4K finishing rooms, as well as the new audio rooms as well.
That's great. So when it comes to sports, because we are SVG here, we know that you guys work with a lot of sports clients, but how have you seen these enhancements, the evolution, the addition of online capabilities in terms of a real world scenario? Do you have any good examples of a sports media customer that has been able to utilize MPE to take their operation to the next level?
Yeah, well, one of the things that I think we see is we've got a lot of lonely road cases in our warehouse, and everything's pretty much gone digital. And so whether that's remote offline, remote media management, remote finishing, those things are all very much more prominent now in this new world order.
I'm sure, yeah. And in terms of any specific customers, Keith, I know that you guys work with people in the field a lot, and obviously with the way that remote production has exploded and the need for multi-site editing and stuff as a result of the pandemic, I'm sure that there's been some sports customers that have enlisted you guys to figure all that out.
Absolutely. I think Andrew probably be best to start to talk about the remote.
Sure. So, one of the things that we thought we would do is every time I'm at an SVG get together, I always hear the word UFC, and sure. I don't know whether I'm tuned into it or whether they are just such a important organization to so many of the members. But thankfully, we've been blessed to work with them for about a decade now, or over a decade. And we used to literally ship things worldwide for them. And there was quite a bit of, margin of error between shipping, between hardware failure, and then costs for shipping. And now what we've done, which is, pretty common in the workflows these days, is everything has gone digital. The files are delivered to us. We host everything here at our facility, and people will remote in, and They'll do their work from their home. And on occasion, or as needed, or based on their comfort level, we also have the on-premise. So there's an interesting hybrid that we make available to people.
Very cool. And Keith, what role do you guys play? Again, Andrew mentioned that you guys came along, over the past few years. What role do you guys play in the ecosystem, and then with the UFC project specifically?
Yes. So thank you. So we are the finishing team of MPE. Our team's been together for about 30 years. We've been doing this, and we joined MPE 5 years ago. And the great thing about MPE is that we're now able to offer our clients to be able to go from start to finish, where we weren't able to do that before. We were only doing color, but now we're being able to. So basically, when the UFC comes in, they give us, the way they want to do it is they give us a file, about a 30 gig file. So this is for the UFC Contender Series. It's about a half-hour show, and we're now on our third season, I think, as Andrew said. And so basically, they give us our colorist gets a 30 gig file, and he starts from scratch, and he basically starts coloring, and he gets it done in a day. He knocks it out, while our sound mixer, designer and mixer, is also separately also doing the sound mix and getting it done in a day. And they can do it whatever they want to do, where they want to come in. What they like to do is the producer likes to come in to the facility to oversee the color, but they want to do the unsupervised for the sound mix, and that's how they do it. So then we deliver to them separately the color finishing and the audio, and then they marry it together, and that's their workflow that they like to do. We could do whatever anybody wants to do. So that's the flexibility of MPE, is like we can do any kind of, like Andrew said, hybrid, whatever they want to do. It's really great. We're very fortunate.
Very cool. Well, in this day and age, that personalized workflow is an absolute necessity, right? Wherever you are, whenever you are, and especially it allows you to get the best possible talent in terms of editors and colorists and that type of thing from wherever you are. So, Neal, I'll close out with you because I'm curious. The UFC project is a perfect example of how you've been working with UFC for a long time, but now some of the enhancements and obviously the acquisition and everything has taken it to the next level and taken your relationship to the next level. So how is MPE's current abilities now going to be able to take their customers to another generation of post-production?
So I think what's a little bit unique about MP is the quantity, let's say, of fiber lines we brought into the building, and the ability for us to reach out to people in the field and work in a very cost-effective manner. It's working with the clients. So if they have a certain provider or somehow they're sending the files into us, they can FedEx, they can do whatever they like to do. We have the ability of people around the clock being here, loading the files into the computer, and again, dedicating lines of people. And really, it's our support group of really working with the different sporting events that really sets us apart.
Right. Well, you got the infrastructure with all the fiber lines, you got the support, and you have the technology and the tools. So there you go. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Really, really appreciate it. Make sure to check out MPE. Their facility is quite amazing. And again, you can work from anywhere now with their new capabilities. So Neal, Andrew, Keith, guys, thanks so much. Hope to see you at an in-person event in the near future. But until then, please stay safe and thanks for joining us.
Thank you
so much. Well,
Bye-bye.